Ladies and gentlemen, this fight will be three 3-minute rounds in the front straight fights welterweight division. First, let me introduce to you, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 168 1/2 pounds. He brings a record of 5 wins against just 2 defeats to the cage tonight. Fighting out of Valley Fitness Center from Kamei, Idaho, I give to you Jessee Gengler. His opponent tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, standing in at 5 feet 6 inches tall. He weighs in at 170 1/2 pounds, bringing a record to the cage of 5 wins against 3 defeats. He represents Combat Fitness and SBGI Idaho from Boise, Idaho, Monty, Mr. August Klistoff. And once again, our referee in charge will be Mr. Chuck G.
All right, here we go. A welterweight bout between Jessee Gengler from Kamei, Idaho. So shout out to everybody watching us from northern Idaho, and Monty Klistoff, the first Straight Blast Gym Combat Fitness combatant we're going to see here tonight. All right, here we go. Round 1 between Jessee Gengler and Monty Klistoff.
Slipped that punch and went right for a shot.
But he was able to capitalize and get that choke in on Monty. Monty is fighting out of it now. This is a
arm-in guillotine. So it's an arm-in guillotine, which, you know, he should be able to fight out of, but I'm pretty sure it's an arm. Okay, now it's a full guillotine, so this is not as good.
And Monty able to fight through that here. He still doesn't have it locked in.
Now it's back to an arm-in guillotine. You know, so we'll see. I think he's going to be able to pull his head out.
And, of course, one advantage Monty may have in the ground game coming from Combat Fitness. They are a great jiu-jitsu gym, great wrestling gym as well, too. But he's locking it in. He's got it in tight.
He needs to pull guard and start cranking there, just like that.
This could be bad for Monty. This could be very bad. He's got it locked in pretty deep.
And what Jesse's trying to figure out right now is, okay, what's the cost-benefit? You know, are my arms going to gas out? Because right now he doesn't have it because he has.
Oh, look at that. Monty's still not giving up yet, but neither is Jessee, right back in and on it.
Monty's doing a good job of defending. You know, he needs to keep driving forward and to alleviate that pressure. But what Jessee needs to do is he needs to make separation and grab.
And there it is. Monty able to fight through it.
He looks like he's going to go for a Kimura, which is a shoulder lock, or a triangle. He's climbing a high guard.
But how much did that take out of Monty right there for the last good 45 seconds? Obviously not much as he throws a couple of rights there.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if it's too much right now because it's early in the fight you have that adrenaline. So, you know, but if that happened a little bit later, it'd probably play into effect. But, you know, it definitely does play into effect. We're looking for a triangle right now. Jessee needs to scoot his shoulders back to get some space to be able to lock the triangle on his right side.
And Monty kind of leaving the right side of his face open there for a couple of jabs there from Jessee. As we approach just about 1 minute left in round number 1 between Jessee Gengler and Monty Klistoff.
You know, from my standpoint, I think Jesse's doing really well. You know, except for right now.
There goes Monty, trying to get that back position. He wants to get those fists flying in.
So it looks like he's trying to step over. Reaching back is pretty dangerous, though, especially in MMA like that. Some knees.
Couple of knees there to the side of Jessee. Those still going, but not having
very little. Looking for a Kimura right now. See if he can get this Kimura locked in. He needs to grab his own wrist, and he needs to pull towards his face and take Monty's hand theoretically to the back of his head.
Now, the Kimura lock, we've heard a lot about that. Is a very painful lock. Where's the biggest stress point when somebody locks in a Kimura?
It's on the shoulder. It's on the shoulder. So now we got a triangle again. Looks like we're starting to set up a triangle. He needs to lock on the right side, which is Monty's left arm side. He needs to lock that triangle. Jessee needs to scoot his shoulders back. There you go. Now we're starting to get it locked, but it's still not tight. Now he's going to look armbar, or omoplata, actually.
Here we go. Final 10 seconds of round number 1 between Monty Klistoff and Jessee Gengler. This welterweight bout at Front Street Fights 7. It looks like we're going to actually get out. There we do. We get out of the first round once tonight. And how do you score this first one? If you're going to score it right now, how did this one work out for you, round number 1?
So I'm going to go for Jessee on this round. He threw up 2 triangles. He threw up a couple chokes that didn't work. He kept rolling. He locked a Kimura, didn't finish, and the whole time, even though Monty was on top, maybe landed a couple blows, he was defending everything, that Jessee had for him. So you know, good job that Monty was able to fend stuff off. However, I think Jessee was the proactive fighter.
What's got to change for Monty to get the advantage? We saw a couple flashes. They were able to get out of, you know, that guillotine that seemed to go on forever. Got out of, as you mentioned, the Kimura and the other couple locks he tried to throw in there. What's Monty got to do to turn this round in his favor?
Well, you know, it's subjective, but, you know, I would say for obviously Jesse's really good at grappling. So I would say, hey, stay out of this guy's guard because you might get caught the deeper in the rounds you get. So now what I would say is, you know, fight in the range and do your stand-up rather than just trying to wrestle this guy and getting in his guard, which is obviously pretty active. Nice front kick.
And Jesse's going to start off with that front kick in round number 2 here. Monty able to push it aside and back Jessee into the cage. And as we mentioned, each amateur bout scheduled for three-minute rounds, just 22 seconds into this one right here. Nice takedown there by Monty, but of course Jesse's still going for that guillotine once again. Very wise.
Now Monty's going to the back, which is a lot different. You know, it's a lot different. So what Jessee has right now with his right leg is called empty half guard, and that's not a good position to have. He needs to get back to a half or get back up, roll away to turtle position and get up. But facing him like that is not good. When you face him, then you give your opponent, you give Monty side control. He needed to roll out, to roll away.
I'm going to start calling you Mr. Encyclopedia. I'm pretty sure maybe we can hashtag that one tonight.
Rather than Mr. Horrible Portuguese.
Yeah. All right, 150 left in round number 2 here.
Okay, so now we got mount. So Monty's mount. And we'll see if Monty, you know, obviously I think Jesse's going to be able to have defenses because his grappling is really good. But this is not a good position because this is where judges see. And if Monty was able to posture up and start landing blows, then he's going to score big and maybe even get a TKO or knockout.
It seems to be completely different from round number 1, round number 2. Monty definitely dominating this one, as you said. Has mount on top, keeps trying to dig the hooks in to really control the leg and really control the body position and try to find any opening that Jesse's going to give him right now. And wisely, Jessee really not giving him much.
Monty's doing a really good job just staying calm and not doing something stupid. You know, a lot of guys arrive and mount. And
you're just going to hear Chuck G giving the warning that he'll stand him up here in a minute if this continues.
Yeah. A lot of guys, what I was saying is a lot of guys arrive and mount and they make stupid mistakes because they feel like they got to get something done. Okay, we can look for a choke.
There you go.
Here.
He's going back to that guillotine once again.
Now back to side control. Monty's doing a good job. He needs to pressure forward, and he can actually alleviate a lot of the choke if he puts his head on the ground. You know, you drive into the choke, not pull away from it. And he needs to also turn his chin down towards the ribs.
Coming down to the final 30 seconds of round number 2 between Jessee Gengler and Monty Klistoff here at Front Street Fight 7, presented by bodybuilding.com. And of course, if we make it past this one, 3 minutes more to go here. Final 15 seconds. Jessee almost looks kind of content that he just wants to relax. A couple of hard gut punches there for Monty to get through this round.
Yeah, Monty's gonna probably try to make some space.
Jessee going for the back. He's going to let those fists fly these last couple of seconds. And we have reached 2 rounds tonight. And you can see the sportsmanship already coming from both of these combatants. You got to say it was almost a tale of 2 different rounds.
Yeah, you know, the good thing is I think Monty settled in. You know, he got in a rhythm. And like I said, when he arrived at mount, he didn't do something stupid and, you know, go for a failed armbar or anything like that. He was actually pretty good. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what's in store for this round because I think Jessee is a superior grappler, but I think that Monty is the superior mixed martial artist. So, you know, I would like to see Jessee be on the ground in the open cage instead of against the fence. I think the outcome is going to be a lot different if he gets it to that point. That's what I'd be encouraging Jessee to do.
And you talked about it. You kind of touched on it there, Jessee. Wanting to take more of the grapple game, Monty being the well-rounded one, as you said, more well-rounded, to take nothing away from Jessee at all whatsoever. Monty seems to be able to kind of adapt to whatever he wants or whatever Jesse's trying to pull from him. And we'll see how these 2 styles play out as we enter the final round, final 3 minutes between Jessee Gengler and Monty Klistoff. A good hard kick there by Jessee, followed up by a good left hand.
That was a
kind of
slip.
stunned Monty there a little bit.
Yeah, it was a stun. I think a little bit of a slip.
And again, a warning there from
Elbows.
referee Chuck G about the elbows not allowed in the amateur undercard portion.
So this is interesting because if I mean, I'm speaking a little early, but if Jessee wins this round, really it all goes back to what happened the first round. What are the judges looking at? If the judges scored it like I would because I'm more versed in jiu-jitsu, then that would mean nice takedown.
It goes for a takedown, but kind of slips, and Monty gets out of it. And both are really fighting for the position. Monty pinning Jessee back into the cage, really limiting the mobility of Jessee at this point.
So I would say whoever wins this round will probably win the fight, to be totally honest.
And again, we will find out in 2 minutes or less who will be the victor in this one. Jessee, again, as we've seen a lot, keeps wanting to go back to a guillotine, slow down, keep things at a slow pace.
But, you know, I'm complimenting his jiu-jitsu. However, he's doing wrong stuff as well. Like he's going for arm and guillotine and falling on his back. If he had a full guillotine where there was no arm, he was just choking the neck, no problem, go to your guard. But he's getting an arm and guillotine and falling to his back, which is very, very difficult to finish. Now he put himself in a bad position. So, you know, as many as, you know, like as well versed and he's transitioning to these different things, he's also doing some mistakes, which is, you know, a 3 minute, look, we're already a minute and a half down. He only has 3 minutes. He has a minute and a half to change his stars right now. And I don't know if it's going to work.
And you can hear the passion, the passion there from Jessee, wanting to pick up the pace in this one. You can hear him screaming, "Let's go!" after Chuck G gives him the warning. Again, if this stays down there, he'll stand him back up for these final 90 seconds.
Second warning, stand up.
And you gotta love that when you can hear from our position. You hear the fighters talking to each other, encouraging to pick up the pace. Monty throwing about 3 or 4 rights.
Yeah, Jessee, I think, you know, Jessee knows that, you know, he's losing because he's just getting grinded out right now, and he's, you know, the clock's wearing down.
And
Gentlemen, you gotta work.
all right, time is winding down in this third round. Jessee trying everything he can. Monty being tenacious. All right, Chuck G's going to stand him up for the final few seconds in this round. Time is winding down. Let's see how this goes now. Monty not wasting any time going in for a right kick. Again, backing Jessee into the cage. A left knee there from Jessee. We're down to the final 10 seconds. Who is going to put the nail in the coffin on this one and sway the judges in their favor? And that's it. We go to our first full fight tonight. This one making it to the judge's decision. And don't know if you heard that on the mic there. A little frustration coming from Jessee, maybe understandably so.
Yeah, you know, but, you know, he only has himself to blame. I pointed out several times he was going for a wrong technique. And, you know, the fight continues. So, you know, you have, in this case, he had 9 minutes. He had 3 3-minute rounds to make it happen. And he probably spent half of that, 6 minutes, in an arm-in guillotine, which is dang near impossible to finish. So, you know, he only has himself to be mad at.
So when he goes back and watches his tape, you know, where's he going to want to correct things? What's he going to want to try differently? What's he going to want to do differently and fix some of those mistakes you talked about?
Well, not to be a broken record, arm-in guillotines usually don't work. I mean, you can get some sweeps out of it. Mm-hmm. To finish it, there's some specific things to do, which he wasn't doing, and I won't go into it. Number 2, he had to triangle several times, and he didn't have initiative to lock the triangle up tight and to clear the arm. He just stayed in this triangle that wasn't locked up, so he didn't capitalize on the triangle that he had to.
And where do you think Monty really switched in and took control of the fight? It again, kind of beginning of round 2 is where it seemed to start for Monty.
Well, it was Monty's prerogative to win, and, you know, he doesn't care if Jessee is, you know, frustrated that the time is winding down. You know, he just went back to the kind of wrestler grind, and, you know, that's fine. Hey, it might not be exciting, but it gets the job done, and, you know, he did it. He was very fundamentally sound, so that was good.
You know, and at the end of the day, that's what matters is the wins and losses for them as they further their amateur career and look to step into the pro ranks and look to change and go up in the ranks and promotions.
Right, it's all good things. However, you know, and we're splitting hairs because this is further down the road, but you won't get signed to, you know, huge events if you do that. You know, you know, now it's about ticket sales, and you need to be exciting. So just getting a W.
And I'll tell you,
doesn't do it.
from Monty, he's new to town, but he's definitely excited to be here in Boise. Sold a lot of tickets tonight, very passionate about it. So we're very excited to have Monty in town and look forward to having him back and see how he grows and develops as an athlete. Let's go ahead and send this one back into the cage side as we make this one official with ring announcer Britt Talbert.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the judges' scorecards, how about one more round of applause for these amateurs here? They gave you 3 good rounds of MMA action here tonight. As we move to the judges' scorecards, we do have a unanimous decision for your winner, improving his record to 6 wins against 3 defeats. Out of the blue corner, Monty, Mr. August Klistoff.